The mass splitters the arrows into smaller and smaller. The mass works as an isolated conglomerate, increasing slowly for an outside observer and inside easier and faster with less and less effect. For example, you go faster and faster and you are doing more and more kilometers per hour, but the end of the road is moving away from you, because in front of you new mountains and valleys appear and wrinkle constantly rebuild the asphalt, creating new bends, signal, lights and intersections, and permits to pass the city gates, thus extending the real number of km and the amount of time needed to complete this journey. For an outside observer, you are increasingly ineffective, and even regressing in your effectiveness. Because if you do not jump out of mass for a while, you will never reach your target. Then, not being able to get out of the mass and being built of it, you must turn backwards and go 2x perpendicular, spitting 3x through the left arm. My wife asked me what I was doing and what would I get out of it. And I asked her what she made of her hair curlers. Curls, she replied to me, and added that her goals were simple. And I said to her that it was twisted. You bang the measuring cup, it's your stain insurance and gives you plenty of energy. For 1 cup of Noah's Ark, a yogurt with bioflora will ignite the spirit of sportsmanship. It is the bitter taste of victory. When I dance I forget about the world. I finally entrusted my finances to the company Take Me On a Land. As a woman, you know that the fix added to any situation doubles the iconic series hydrated, and your inner glow will allow you to welcome into tomorrow. You are a sponsor for some of these wonderful moments, ideally when you have children and a family vibrant with an organic pursuit of good in the impenetrable clouds of chance and the brightness of the dawn of the Rose Sisters of the morning auroras with pirate blindfolds and in the day cross and the nadir swap arrow. If a certain amount of mass leaps out of a large mess, it becomes subject to the area and time of the outside observer. The easiest way is for the mass to become an action at times, for example by the fact that it acquires the characteristics of a wave, i.e. a wave disturbance where the disturbance can be compatible, opposite, orthogonal to a phase shift, coherent or pseudo-coherent, parcel transfer. Ideally, it should be burdened with the logarithmic antidecrement of parcel coherence suppression. The method of small energetics, according to the statement that moving a point beyond the boundaries of this point causes an arrow going infinitely in the time -0 unit for the event. Apage sata na se, or better. Remember the clay your mother. O sweet Ishtar, lover of my body. These are Barrow's lips, dry with longing for you. Veterans stand beyond death, and although they are not a pluralia tantum, their being slips beyond the horizon. Only the protagonists notice them, when they are at the end of their youth. Veterans whistle the air with reeds and adjust their leather hats, made of human or monkey skins. What a difference, since they protect from the sun and from its sister, the moon. Maybe they are soulless because they are made of fog? Maybe invisible because only present in spirit, shining with black light. They consider people a waste product on their way home. The veteran strokes the flexible sand with his shoe. He could give the order, but he prefers to do it himself. If the set of several points in a certain mass region is disturbed by the FF wave, then the entire region, object, becomes timeless, i.e. it will be active non-mass and mass inactive at the same time, causing time and space not to share in it according to the scheme managing the remaining, in other objects, mass. The fact that only some points in the item will be activated will allow the item to detach from the rules of physics that apply to mass. And yet the whole thing will not fall apart, because the rest, most of the punks and probably more and more keep the mass structure. Does the energetic mass retaining mesh look for a perpendicular direction of activation excitation escape? Yes. This is an induction of B which is possibly easy to direct. What stabilizes the mass? The inactivity of the next moment, the timelessness of an object when it is a wave, i.e. then it does not divide the next arrows and event cells into smaller and smaller ones, does not age and goes beyond the area of mass as a collection of various objects, for example earth, chair, lamp, cloud, rain, gases, animal, stone, moon, sun. G.D.O.A. Why do the blades release electrons? Franklin's propeller. Pitat's tube, Bernoulli's negative pressure in colliding ships in the ocean as space and an environment of arrows. Arrows as mass and flow in pitot tubes as gravity factor.